Good morning, welcome to Thought for Today. Well, for the marvels of modern technology, whilst you're watching this, I'll actually be undergoing a small operation where they're going to be taking some biopsies from my throat because there's some precancerous cells in there and they just want to monitor them. They've been doing it for years, so it's not a surprise, but we started off where it was done once a year, and then it got put down to once every 2 years. So the meds are working, doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is great. But because of COVID, it was put back, and now this is year 3. So we've been called in, or I've been called in, and they're going to do the operation, small op, this morning, and do some biopsies, no doubt. The good news is that we get the results pretty instantaneous, within an hour. And if they need to do anything else, then they'll do it, which is what they did quite some years ago now. So anyway, but what it did, it's thrown up something rather interesting, because on Sunday I had to go in for a PCR test, and then you have to be totally isolated with your family until the operation itself. So the only time you're allowed to leave the house is to drive to the hospital for the operation. And I was thinking, loads of people will be going through these sort of things at the moment, and we need to be sensitive that some people may not be at church for and the reason is because they're probably isolating, or they're isolating for another family member or whatever. So whatever we can do to support people and help people and encourage people during these times is a real positive. The reason the isolation becomes quite relevant, we found out on Monday. We got a phone call from my son to tell me that he and his family are very poorly. They've got this nasty flu type bug that's going around, and it's really not been good. They've called the doctor out for my grandson because they thought he got whooping cough. And Elaine and I thought about this for a while and said, well, surely he was inoculated against whooping cough. It turns out it's croup, which is not too good, but it's croup. And normally they would ring us up and we'd go over and get some food for them from the supermarket and drop it off, like we've done during the COVID period when they've had to isolate. We're not able to do that. And then we had a phone call from my granddaughter, and she informed me that she'd had to go on the Sunday for a PCR test for my great-granddaughter. She had a message from the school saying that some of the children in the nursery had gone down with COVID and she needed to be checked. The great-granddaughter needed to be checked. So she went off and she came back positive. It turns out they've now, amazingly, after 41 children in the nursery have come down with COVID, and 2 of the teachers, they've decided to close the nursery, which is absolutely unbelievable to me that they didn't do it, but that's the policy. The rest of the school isn't closed, just the nursery. So we weren't able to help there. So we've other people have had to step up, and that's a positive thing. So it also means that we are not indispensable, which is a blessing to know as well. So other people have had to step up and get the blessing of helping their fellow people out, which is great news. So lots of things going on, and I think that as church we need to be shouting the things that we're doing. I really do. We need to be shouting positive things that's going on, and also that church is a safe place, because twice now I've heard through medical people that churches along with schools are like petri dishes of infection, and I don't find that. That's not my experience. I know all the way through COVID, a lot of us were doing antigen tests to make sure that we didn't have anything to pass on to fellow worshippers. we've put in distancing to make sure things are safe. And I think we need to be shouting that, because that doesn't seem to be the impression that a lot of people have about church and at schools at the moment. So we need to be shouting about that. We also need to be aware that there will be a lot of people that are probably missing, but not because they want to be missing, but because they have to be missing because of things like isolation, and if family members are going through procedures, then now they're being told to isolate as a family to protect not only the NHS staff but also other people that will be going to have minor ops as well. So the great news is we're able to get some of these minor ops, get out of the way, get them done, get people back to a sense of normality, a sense of relief that their condition hasn't got any worse over the COVID time. And also, I'm just thinking we're coming up to flu season, and perhaps we need to be seriously thinking about, if we have got a cough and a sniffle and we're not feeling good, then perhaps that's, with all the technology that we can watch church from home, that may be an idea, rather than taking our bugs into church. Protecting everybody from COVID. Now let's start thinking about protecting everybody not only from COVID but also from flu and nasties that we normally get this time of year. I didn't want to go down the route of woe and what have you, and I hope I haven't. I hope nobody's overly upset. Be blessed. All I want to do is share that, that there's great things happening, good things happening. People are there for us. That's the nice thing. In a lot of places they're not. So be happy. Have a fantastic day. Be encouraged. And most of all, if you can, give somebody a little ring on the phone. You don't have to put yourself out majorly. Say hi to them. But most of all, if you happen to be going around, you're out and about, the most important thing you can do when you look at somebody is give them a smile. Have a fantastic day. See you soon. Bye.